Okay, good evening everybody. It's the day 2 of the Scottish Swimming National Age Group Championships. Final session shortly to get underway in about 5 minutes or so time. My name is Lynn Alderton. I'm joined this evening by Scottish Swimming National Coach Ian Wright.
Good evening.
Hi, good to have you here, Ian. We've not worked together on the live stream before, so
No.
all interesting stuff. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Nothing specific in terms of any races, but just really I'm looking across all the events at what sort of standards are being achieved on the different age groups and where that fits, and what we've had in the past and where we might direct us to go in the future. So, and also, I mean, in a holistic sense, you look at. I tend to look at this meet more so in the club sense rather than the individual athlete sense, and which clubs are bringing swimmers to this meet and doing well, who's on the up, if you like.
Yeah, and we'll talk a bit about the team championship a bit later on, although that will come through a bit later on during the 5 days that we've got here. Tonight we've got the 200 metres breaststroke for girls, 200 metres butterfly for boys. There's 100 metres backstroke for girls, 50 metres breaststroke for our older boys, so from age 15 upwards. And again, the finals of the 400 metre events are only for the swimmers age 15 and up. So 3 finals for them, 15-year age group, 16-year age group, and the 17-18-year swimmers. So that's a swimming due to get underway at 5:15. Nice shot there of some of our senior officials. Just readying themselves for the session ahead. It's session 6.
It's always interesting in the finals, I think, at this meet, because for some swimmers the heats are relatively easy to negotiate, especially in these 400 metre events that we'll see later, and they may have been holding something back, so the times they've got them through to the final are not necessarily the best guide to actually how the final might go. So it'll be interesting to see who can move it on from those heat swims.
Yeah, I think we saw some quite relaxed swims, shall we say, in the 400 metres freestyle. It's difficult to know quite what to expect. We also saw some of the swimmers this morning swimming in several heats and quite challenging events, the 200 metres breaststroke for girls and the 400 metres individual medley. A lot of swimmers contesting both of those this evening. And for the men as well, the 200 metres butterfly and 400 metres freestyle.
They're tough doubles for anyone, those are, and therefore if you're a good swimmer and you can get through the heats with a little bit to spare, then it's always going to serve you well later in the day, especially as some of them have also had a relay today, or maybe even 2 relays in some cases.
Yeah, I know a lot of the swimmers are coming back off of the British Championship, should I say, British Trials down in Sheffield. We've seen a few of the swimmers that were down there contesting different events, some of them the same events. What are you looking for from those swimmers and what are you expecting?
Well, if they're doing different events, then I'm looking for them to really put it out and go as fast as they can. And if they're doing the same event as they did last week, and they already did a really good performance last week, as many of them did, then I think it is quite difficult for them to expect them to go faster than that here. Particularly because they're probably doing a multi-range of events here, whereas last week they were very focused on specific races. But we'll see. It's always different. We've got Dean Fern in the 200 fly tonight, and he didn't swim that last week, so we might see something nice on that. But Everett Davidson's in the 400 free, I think, and he already did a really good one last week. So
yeah,
we shall see. It'll be hard for him to push that on, but he's a tough kid, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so first up we've got the 200 metres breaststroke, and we go from youngest to oldest, so it's the 11 to 13-year-old swimmers first. We're just looking for them to come up onto the pool side. Like I say, racing due to get underway in about a minute. Our senior officials this evening, it's Thursday evening. We've got Derno Jessamine and Susan Coe. There are referees. Colin Matthews and Carol McInnes are starting, and here's the swimmers just moving up to the blocks there for the first race, the 11 to 13-year-old girls 200 metres breaststroke. So we have Abby Coventry in lane 0, representing Morpeth. Lauren Cantley in lane 1 for South Aberdeenshire. In lane 2, Lily Mundell, Heart of Midlothian. In lane 3, it's Honor McCarty, Inverclyde. In lane 4, Ella Thompson, Perth City. In lane 5, Amelia Burrell from Bryn Rothis. In lane 6, Abigail Fagan from Ren 96. Rosie Suchfield goes for Warren de Bath in lane 7. In lane 8, Millie Searle from Geary. And in lane 9 we have Evie Chan representing North Ayrshire. So entry times into this event from the heats this morning, Ian, 2:56 in the centre lane, out to 3:08. Are you looking for much improvement there? What are you expecting to see?
I think it looks, from those heat times, it does look like Ella and Amelia in the middle lanes are the strong favourites here, and you maybe anticipate them pushing each other along to a slightly faster time. For the other girls, they may be trying to get themselves under 3 minutes. Would be the immediate target, and that's always the target on 200 breaststroke. Can you get yourself under 3 minutes at this age? That's kind of like a good standard to aim for. So we'll see. Ella Thompson certainly going for it down the first 50.
Yeah, Ella Thompson swimming for Perth City. Her entry time the fastest, 2:56.3. And really pushing it out there. Not the fastest into the heats, so her entry time was 3 minutes 00. So she took a full second improvement in her heat swims this afternoon, and stretching it out there this afternoon. Honor McCarty alongside her, closest to her, but still that red cap for Ella Thompson. And time to look out for, she swam her first 100 this afternoon in 1:24.61.
Should be around that off of 39 first 50, maybe 1:23. Lane 3 at the moment also going well, like you say, Honor McCarty from Inverclyde.
Yeah, Inverclyde's got quite a few good swimmers here. Noticing them especially in the younger age groups.
They do very well in the kind of the 11, 12, 13 age group. They've got some good kids there.
So spot on there, 1:23.22. You're quite right. Ella Thompson taking the touch there in the 13-year age group. We have got a 12-year-old in the water. In fact, we've got two, Abby Coventry in lane 0 and Millie Searle for Geary, perhaps looking for them to come through and show up in next year's Scottish.
Yeah, and Abby, even though she's swimming for the English club Morpeth, is actually a Scottish family, so I always keep an eye out for her anyway as one of potential good swimmers for the future, especially if she's only 12.
And as national coach, what are you looking to see technique-wise from these swimmers during their strokes and during their turns? What are you hoping to see?
I mean, at this age, they are quite inexperienced, so you can't expect them to be perfect around walls and underwater phases. You're looking for people who are actually trying to get that right and making a concerted effort to be disciplined in their push-offs and their underwater phases. Breaststroke's a little bit of a funny stroke in that everyone's quite a bit different in the way they do it, but generally I want to see a good rhythm and timing of the stroke.
So coming to the business end of the race here, Ella Thompson led right from the very off, and I think she's going to take this one. Like I say, 2:56 she came in on the heats this afternoon off an entry time of 3 minutes, and I think she's going to improve on that a fair bit again in this evening's final. Coming into the finish there, Ella Thompson.
Yeah, excellent swim there from Ella, and second place going to Honor McCarty, 2:57. Amelia Burrell, third place, picking up the bronze medal at 2:59.54, just a little bit slower than she went in the heats.
Yeah, so 3 swimmers under the 3-minute mark, which says a barrier for these swimmers as they develop on their breaststroke.
It looks like most of the rest of the field also improved their time. I haven't checked it exactly, but there's certainly improvements across the board there from the heats.
Yeah, and it was nice to see that you can see the green splits up on the board. We can't see them on the screen here, but the green splits indicate that the swimmers swam faster in the final length, so that was good to see as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready to welcome our 14-year-old swimmers onto the pond side.
And lane 0 representing Aberdeen, Lexi Lamont, and 1 from Highland is Eva Robertson. And 2
So in lane 0 we have Lexi Lamont from Aberdeen. In lane 1 Eva Robertson from Highland. In lane 2 Leonie Bedborough from Incas. In lane 3 Zara Kravitz, East Lothian. In lane 4 Imogen Miles from Sevenoaks. In lane 5 it's Evie Mackey representing South Lanarkshire. 6 Ava Ross, City of Glasgow. In lane 7 Cara White, Ren 96. In lane 8 Jessica Kirkwood, University of Aberdeen Performance. And in lane 9 Daisy McInnes, Daisy from City of Glasgow swim team. So a full lineup for the 14-year-old girls 200 metres breaststroke.
And a strong favourite, I would suggest, in Imogen Miles, based on the heat performances.
Yes, Imogen fastest into this. She actually had a slightly faster entry time. She won the Kent Championships earlier on in the year, and that time was taken from there, so about a second faster. Could go faster even still this evening.
And she's 8 seconds ahead of the time Evie Mackey did in the heats.
Yeah, and a Scott.
Yeah. And then Evie's 6 seconds ahead of the next best place swimmer, so it could stretch out quite a bit this one.
Yes, it'd be good to see Evie Mackey stretched out. She's been a really busy girl so far, and
she's a good swimmer too.
She is, and very versatile. We've seen her in the backstroke, we've seen her in the breaststroke, we've seen her in the 1500 free.
Yeah, she was on our youth academy program this year, and I saw her training a few times, and I was very impressed with her attitude and her technical ability.
Yeah, and she seems to be continuing to improve, because we saw her at the West District pre-snags meet. Her time there was 2:46.82, and faster still through into this final.
And also to mention Zara Kravitz, she's another one of our top 14-year-old girls at the moment. This is probably one of her weaker events actually, but she's very strong in other disciplines. So she's another one to watch out for the future in this age group.
So what contact does Scottish Swimming have, or do you have as national coach, with a club all the way down in Sevenoaks where Imogen Miles is based? Do you have any contact with them? How do you get in touch, and what do you do?
Well, in Imogen's case, she's not on any of the programs at the moment, so it's more likely that we'll make contact with them if they qualify for one of the national programs, whether that be probably in her case would be, you'd hope for youth academy selection next year, or even national junior team if it's particularly good, and then they would be contacted and invited to various training camps. She wouldn't generally do the junior academy program because that's just a Scottish based program, so she might have picked up some county things in England for that, but she's really emerging onto the scene this season, so she may go 2:35 here, which would be an outstanding swim for a 14-year-old.
Yeah, Imogen Miles there, 1:55.18 at the split.
Not many 14-year-old girls go as quick as this on breaststroke, so it's really quite special, this.
Yeah, so about a second faster than she was this morning, so that would see her coming in pretty much about on time where she was on her entry time, 2:37, could even go underneath that, and she's well clear of the rest. A bit of a battle on between Evie Mackey and Zara Kravitz for second place, really close there. That is pretty fast time, that 2:35.27, very impressive. Zara Kravitz coming through, gone past Evie Mackey, going to take the silver medal. 2:43.8 for Zara Kravitz. Evie Mackey, yes, very fast split coming home there, underneath 40 seconds for that last 50, and Evie Mackey in third, 2:45.6.
Yeah, good racing there. I mean, coming back on in 40 or 39 seconds on breaststroke is very, very good indeed. And just an interesting, given that Zara did a 39.9 there, she swam one race down in the British Champs last week, the 400 IM, and she only swam the heats, but she actually had the fastest 50 freestyle last leg of the whole field, including Katie Shanahan and Freya Colbert. So quite impressive how she can finish a race.
Why do you think swimmers might do that?
Well, I think in her case, I mean, clearly she had some energy left, but she's a very determined character. That's for sure. She saw two people ahead of her on that last 50, and she was like, I'm going to get them, and she did.
Yeah. Right, so here's our 15-year-old girls. In lane 0 we have Carrie Preacher from Lerwick. In lane 1, Macy Carty from Fauldhouse. In lane 2, Katie Towers from South Lanarkshire. In lane 3, Grace Hannock, East Lothian. In lane 4, Seren Tarantire from Morpeth. In lane 5, Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow. In lane 6, we have Madeline Patterson, also City of Glasgow. In lane 7, Sydney Boyd, Midlothian. In lane 8, Isla Gilmurray from Dundee City Aquatics. And in lane 9, Ellen Denny, representing Giro. So you're quite recently in post, Ian, having been the head coach at City of Glasgow swim team. How are City of Glasgow doing now?
Well, at this competition they're doing pretty well. After day 1 they appeared to be leading the point score, the club point score list quite significantly, so I guess they're pretty happy. They look like they got quite a lot of finalists yesterday. They've got about 80 swimmers here at the competition, so it's not surprising they're going to get quite a lot of finalists. But you know, yeah, it's good to see them carrying on and doing well. They won this competition, I think, for the first time last year, so they will be the favourites to win it again this year, I think.
Yeah, so a couple of swimmers from City of Glasgow in this final, being led out now by Seren Tarantire, Morpeth swimmer in the red cap in lane 4. Her time from this morning, 2:49.07, so nearly 3 seconds faster than Ellie Kennedy, who's currently sitting in second place, City of Glasgow swimmer.
Yeah, Ellie is probably quicker. I don't know how hard she was going this morning, but she's probably quicker than the heat swim that she did. I mean, I think that's almost 2 seconds quicker on the first 50 for her tonight than this morning. And her and Maddie in lane 6, Maddie Patterson, her and Ellie have been kind of teammate rivals on breaststroke for some time. But Ellie, as you can see, is just stretching off ahead of Maddie at the moment and trying to keep with Seren in lane 4.
Yeah, Ellie Kennedy, I can see her entry time into the meet was 2:47.8, and she was the Scottish Summer Meet champion last year, so perhaps a little bit in reserve. But Seren Tarantire looking good just now.
She tends to step up in finals, Ellie. She did a great swim in the 50 breast final last night and got a medal, so I think Seren won that one as well, didn't she? But she was on the podium for sure. So Seren is definitely doing a great swim here. They're out in 1:17. Could go close to 2:40 if she holds her pace.
Yeah, 1:17 is actually 4 seconds faster than she swam this morning, so looking for a much faster time. Her entry time into the meet, though, let's have a quick look. See it, that was 2:44, so perhaps swimming within herself this morning as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tough event, the 200 breaststroke long course, and you do see people slowing down a little bit as it goes through, and there you can see Seren at 43 on that length, and she was 41 on the one before that. So the question now is, can she hold that, or can she maybe try and speed up down the last 50? Looks like she's going to win the race. Ellie looks like she's going to get second, and maybe still a challenge on the bronze medal position.
Yeah, Grace Hannock, East Lothian, currently getting the better of that one in lane 3. Not a name I'm familiar with, I've got to say. She came into the final on 2:55.45 and looking pretty good for third place at the moment. I think she's going to beat Madeline Patterson from City of Glasgow. Seren Tarantire, though, towards the wall, 2:44.91, so good improvement for her. And holding that 43 pace down the last 50. Ellie Kennedy in second, 2:47.69, some more points for City of Glasgow. And Grace Hannock in third, subject to confirmation, 2:50.55 for her, and another 43 split, so good swim down that final leg.
Yeah, Grace came back well there, 43.2 and getting faster down her last 50, so I'm sure she'll be happy to pick up the bronze medal, but Seren Talantire's race, that's for sure.
Yeah, Seren Tarantire, not a Scot by the looks of it, so Ellie Kennedy will be our Scottish national age group champion.
Which is, that's what happened yesterday as well in the 50-metre event.
So we have some medal presentations coming up shortly. And unfortunately a technical infraction for lane 1, Macy Carty.
So moving to our presentations now.
So our presentations for these younger girls, in fact I think for the whole of the 200 metres breaststroke, that will be Brian Hendry. Brian Hendry is the current president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association. And our bronze medal winner in 13-year age group is Amelia Burrell from Glenrothes. And our bronze medal winner in the 14-year age group, Evie Mackey, representing South Lanarkshire, receiving their bronze medals there. In the 13-year age group, Honor McCarty takes the silver medal, representing Inverclyde, and the silver medal winner from East Lothian in the 14-year age group, Zara Kravitz. We're moving on to our gold medal winners. Our Scottish National Age Group champion representing Perth City in the 13-year age group is Ella Thompson. And the gold medalist from Sevenoaks, and our Scottish National Age Group champion is Imogen Miles. So a name to perhaps look out for the future.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm not that familiar with her background, other than she's here as a Scottish eligible athlete, and that is an excellent performance from her that we've seen tonight.
Yeah, we don't have the ages of the swimmers to hand, because of course everybody's swimming age at 31st of December. Could well be 14, could well be 13.
For the 15 to 18-year-old 200 breaststroke. So 16 to 16-year-old 200 breaststroke.
So our next event up is the girls 16 years 200 metres breaststroke. And they're just walking out onto the pond side now. In lane 0 we have Izzy Munnock from Morpeth. In lane 1 Lucy Nimmo, City of Glasgow. In lane 2 Mai Rogers, Warrender Baths Club. In lane 3 Charlotte Thompson from Mid Lothian. In lane 4 representing South Ayrshire it's Charlotte Hardy. In lane 5 representing South Ayrshire Ailey Robertson. In lane 6 from Stirling Swim it's Susie McNair. In lane 7 we have Katie Coventry representing Morpeth. In lane 8 from East Lothian it's Tegan Black. And in lane 9 we have Perry Scobby representing Stirling Swim. So Charlotte Hardy had a really good week last week down at the British Championships. What's your hopes for Charlotte? 2 South Ayrshire swimmers in the middle lanes.
Yeah, although last week she was swimming for Millfield, because that's the school she goes to down in England, but she's a South Ayrshire swimmer. That's her hometown, and she's one of our best female breaststrokers, not just at 16 years of age, but across all ages, to be fair. And she did a good 100 breast last week. I know she was a little bit disappointed with her 200 last week, so I'm sure what she is actually trying to go a little bit quicker here tonight than she went last week. And she's one of the swimmers who are chasing the Commonwealth Youth Games times, and she's quite close to 2 of them, and she's just sneaked inside the one of them last week, the 100-meter one. So hopefully she can go a bit quicker than she did last week.
So what's that target time for her? I'm really putting you on the spot there. No, don't worry. I love the way that the South Ayrshire swimmers swim their 200 metres breaststroke. Really fast movements, but a long glide in between the movements. I see that with Charlotte Hardy there. I mean, as you say, training in Millfield.
Yes, yeah, and back up for this week, comes back up for holidays, and is down there doing the school academic. Yeah, but it's you can see 4 girls here, and also lane 1 taking it out quite well. Yeah,
so that's Lucy Nimmo, City of Glasgow, looking to make a mark and potentially do a better swim than she swam this morning. I think the medals may be out of reach, but in lane 6 as well, Susie McNair, she's had a good swim.
Susie, yeah, is in great form at the moment, but you know, I mean, I said Charlotte was going to go for it, but 1:17 is not the kind of pace that she'd want to go out in. You know, that's much slower than she would typically want to go if she's going for a time, but I don't know why she did that. She's trying to pick it up here.
So looking good though, Charlotte Hardy, certainly looking good for the win.
Charlotte Thompson of Mid Lothian also looking strong here.
Yeah, Charlotte Thompson. So all of these swimmers are 16. Charlotte Thompson came in on an entry time of 2:49.44. Charlotte Hardy, though, pushing her way out in front and into the final 50.
And Ailey Robertson looks to be tying up a little bit as Susie McNair comes back strong on the last 50 in lane 6. Susie always known for her strong finishes.
Yeah, Charlotte Hardy about a second faster than she was in the heats this morning at that last turn.
But she'd really want to be going 2:33, 2:34 would be something around her normal pace, and she's outside that.
Yeah, and Ailey Robertson, though she's been knocked out with the medal-winning positions. Charlotte Hardy taking the gold there. Susie McNair coming through in second place, 2:40.05 for her, so that's the silver medal for her. And Charlotte Thompson taking the bronze for Midlothian. That's a bit of a surprise, perhaps.
Yeah, slight surprise there. I mean, Susie, very good medal swimmer. Not known for her individual breaststroke events, but that's 9 seconds quicker than she went in the heats, so maybe she was cruising the heats a little bit, but even 2:40 is a really strong time for her, and for Charlotte Thompson, who also went 2:40, so...
Yeah, they're still only 16, so there's still a lot of development there to go.
If you get around 2:40, and certainly when you get under 2:40, you can consider yourself really very competent at breaststroke, so I'm sure those girls were pretty happy there.
Let's welcome our 17, 18-year-olds on then. So Katie Caldwell goes in 0, McGuire Bearsden. Ella McGeorge for Cooper in lane 1. In 2 we have Ciara Davidson. City of Glasgow in lane 3, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 4, it's Nou Legal going for Geary. In lane 5, Erin Taylor from Finns. In lane 6, Amy McLeod goes for City of Glasgow. In lane 7, Leah Bullock from South Lanarkshire. In 8, Alyssa Goodbrand, Eithin. And in lane 9, Maya Cheshire from Elgin. So this is our last final in the 200 metres breaststroke, 17, 18-year-old girls. Nou Legal must be the favourite for this one, Ian?
She will be, and she was in one of the finals last week in Sheffield, and she's very strong on breaststroke, PB of 2:31, I think. It was a little bit slower than that last week, so I'm hoping she can get close to that today, although she had a bit of illness recently, so a little bit of form loss. Maybe she can get back to it, though. She's looking pretty strong when I saw her in the warm-up earlier.
Yeah, I think that she wasn't on her best form last week in Sheffield, although she did a strong 50. Her entry time, the 2:31.67, was swam in Lisbon when Geary went out as a team. But it's the Erin Taylor, the Finn swimmer, alongside her taking this one out. She had a really good, strong heat swim this morning.
Yeah, Erin, again, she really wanted to go for it, and I know she's going to go for it tonight. But she's another one that's been chasing some of those Commonwealth Youth times, and but she's had a disrupted season with illness, and so she's not quite at her best, but she's just going to give it a go and see what she can do.
Yeah, 4 swimmers all in a line though, and Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow, looking really good in lane 2. Lucy Stoves in the pink cap of Dundee City Aquatics alongside her. I don't think the 2 girls in the centre lanes are going to have it all their own way.
Well, one of Nuala's strengths is to hold her stroke really well. She's got an efficient stroke with a long glide, and that helps her save energy for the second half of the race, where she usually comes very strong. She doesn't tend to slow down much. She's good at holding her pace.
Yeah, 1:15.03 is a couple of seconds faster than she was this morning. So if she can hold that well, she won't be that far away from her PB, and she has got Erin Taylor coming up on her left-hand side. The Finn swimmer also in the blue cap in the middle.
Yeah, Erin hasn't given up here.
Amy McLeod coming through now, City of Glasgow.
Amy did a good 50-metre event last night, really good time for her. But she's trying to come through, but Lucy Stoves is really holding on to the 3rd place really well at the moment.
Yeah, good to see Lucy Stoves coming back. I think she was really quite at the forefront even only a couple of years ago. A bit quiet last year, but definitely coming through again, because she's a 17-year-old swimmer. The 2 in the centre are both 18. I think Nou Legal now has set down the gauntlet. I think she's off now, isn't she? I think Erin Taylor's going to have to settle for second, unless she can be challenged by Lucy Stoves in lane 3, but Nuala Gal just coming towards the finish.
Yeah, it's Nuala's race, racing against the clock here.
Yeah, she's not quite going to be on her best, but much closer to it. 2:33.58, Nuala Gal, 38.55 her finishing lap. Erin Taylor, swimmer from Finns.
That's a good swim from Erin, based on where she's had the struggles that she's had this season. So I think overall she's probably going to be pretty happy with her effort there. Lucy Stove's got to be really happy with the 2:38. That's a nice swim for her. And I think a PB for Amy McLeod coming in 4th at 2:41.
So that's a confirmed result. We've got some more medals coming up. It's pretty non-stop.
Yeah, there's no time to waste.
No, I'd like to ask you about your job at some point. We might do that when we move on to the 400 metres freestyle later on. It's not that it's not exciting, but there will be a bit more space for it. So our bronze medalist in the 15-year age group is Grace Hannock, representing East Lothian. Again, Brian Hendry doing the honours. And the 16-year-old bronze medal winner is Charlotte Thompson from Midlothian. So moving on to the silver medal winners. Our silver medalist is Ellie Kennedy, representing City of Glasgow in the age 15 group. And the silver medal winner, perhaps a surprise, in the 16-year age group, representing Stirling Swim, Susie McNair. I think we're going to see Susie McNair on the podium quite a lot.
I think you'll see her on the podium a lot this week.
So our gold medal winner in the 15-year age group is representing Morpeth, that's Seren Talentire. And the gold medal winner in the 16-year age group, and she's also our Scottish National Age Group champion, is Charlotte Hardy from South Ayrshire. And our Scottish National Age Group champion, I think that will come up next. Our Scottish National Age Group champion in the 15-year age group, with Sarah not being a Scot, is Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow. And once that's done, we'll move on to our 17, 18-year-old girls. They're given the opportunity to put some clothes on the podium. And the bronze medal winner in the 17, 18-year-old age group is from Dundee City Aquatics. It's Lucy Stoves. And the silver medal winner, representing Finns, is Erin Taylor. And our gold medal winner and the Scottish National Age Group champion in the 17-year, 18-year age group from Geary, Nuala Gal.
That's why we do the 50, 60, just get the time to get around.
200 metres butterfly next. We had some really good 200 fly from our youth swimmers down in Sheffield. What are you looking for from these?
Well, it's a strange race, the 200 fly, often feared by swimmers and attacked by others, you know, but I think it's a different ballgame in terms of what the 17, 18-year-olds, how they swim it compared to when we see this first race, which is full of 13-year-olds who are really very inexperienced at the event.
All right, so let's introduce them then. In lane 0, we've got Andrew Patterson from City of Glasgow. In lane 1, Blake Herdman from Inverclyde. In lane 2, Aidan Anderson, Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 3, Billy Trapp from Mount Kelly. In lane 4, Nikolai Cisnet from City of Glasgow. In lane 5, Mustafa Maghrabi from Hamilton Aquatics. In lane 6, Aaron Machin from City of Glasgow. In lane 7, it's Richie Saunders, Warrender Bath Club. In lane 8, Stepan Nachuk from Stranraer. And in lane 9, Ruben Lees, Warrender Bath Club. So all of these swimmers are 13 at the 31st of December. And with the way that boys mature, we've got a whole range of different physical profiles there.
Yeah, we've got some boys who are 13 but look 16, and we've got some boys who are 13 and look like they might be younger than that. But they're all born in they're all 2010 born, some of these. And I'm sure that we saw Nikolai Sisnet swimming really well in the backstroke last night, and he's one of the bigger and stronger boys, and we're sure to be the favourite here.
Yeah, but he's using his physical strength there to his best advantage. In the 200 metres butterfly, we thought he went out really quickly. Weren't sure if he was going to hold on to it, and he did manage that very well. So I think he's another one we're going to see on the podium a lot during these 5 days. First to the wall there, 30.67, so nearly 2 seconds ahead of Mustafa Maghrabi, who's here representing Hamilton Aquatics. That's about a second faster than he was this morning, Ian. Is that too fast, or will he be able to hang on?
It's impossible to say. I mean, it looks a little bit too fast, but boys of this age, with his ability level, he's not just a big boy, he's a talented swimmer as well. He's trained at the Glasgow School of Sport with Heather Campbell as his coach, and he's been training there this season, and I know he does a good job every day in training, and he's a talented boy, so he's out in a very quick time, 1:08. But Mustafa's also swimming well. You can see the field really stretched out, and that tends to happen in some of these younger fields, especially on a 200 butterfly. The field really spreads out.
Yeah, Nikolai went out in 1:08 this morning as well. At Mustafa Maghrabi, he was 1:11 at the turn this morning, 1:10 this evening, so perhaps going to be a little bit closer as we come in towards the finish. There was only a couple of seconds in it on their entry times as a result of the heats this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mustafa still thinks he's in with a chance here, although that 50, Nikolai did actually swim it 0.2 quicker than Mustafa.
Yeah, in third place, but quite a long way back in lane 3, representing Mount Kelly, it's Billy Trapp.
All sorts of funny things happen on the last 50 of 200 flies. Might be happening here.
Yes, that's the piano on the back, isn't it? Down the last length of the 200 metres butterfly, really going for it just as we come in towards the finish. Mustafa Maghrabi, he thinks he can get there. I don't think he can. I think it's going to be another win for Nikolai Sisnet, but he really had to work hard down that final 25 to take that one. Pushed him on to another fast time, 2:27.95, so that's a further improvement for him. 2:29.17. Mustafa Maghrabi goes faster than he went this afternoon. Billy Trapp in third place, 2:35.43. Very impressive. So if we look at the time,
to see these boys really pushing a 200 fly like that. It's a tough event, and nice to see them really have a go at it.
So you say Nikolai Sisnet's at the School of Sport. Do they train at Tollcross in long course? Do they get opportunities for that?
They train at Tollcross. Some of it is long course, some of it is short course training. And quite a unique situation with the Glasgow School of Sport. It's a state school, but it supports a number of sports, athletes in sports, and allows them to do some of their training within the school day, rather than it helps them not have to do quite so many early mornings or late nights. So it's kind of scheduled into their lessons, and it works quite well if that's the sort of swimmer you are. So.
Right, let's welcome our 14-year-old swimmers. In 0, Lucas Innes. In 1, Ethan Collins. In lane 2, Daniel Hendry. In lane 3, James Kilpatrick from Carnegie. In lane 4, it's Archie MacArthur in Inverclyde. In 5, Zane Salah, representing Hamilton Aquatics. In lane 6, Edward Hodgson from Newcastle. In lane 7, Matthew Kenny Kinross. In 8, Adam Merrick, Cumbernauld. And in lane 9, Lewis Maxwell Parvels from Warren de Bath's club. Yeah, so a unique opportunity really there for the swimmers at the Glasgow School of Sport.
Yeah, and Ellie Kennedy, who we saw winning that gold medal a minute ago in the 200 breaststroke, she also another one of the athletes who trains there. So it's definitely working out at the moment for those swimmers. And as we go into this 14-year-old 200 butterfly final. This one might be close because we had 3 swimmers on 2:24 in the heats, so a good race in prospect.
Yeah, Archie MacArthur had a really good race, I think, to get his time. Some of the heats there wasn't so much of a race involved, so it'll be interesting to see how they go on. But going out quickly in lane 5, it's Zane Salah. He's a Hamilton Aquatics entrant. It's good to see the swimmers coming over from far away.
Yeah, Hamilton, Dubai-based club, not the Hamilton just outside of Glasgow in this case, and they often send a group of swimmers over to Scottish events and British events. It's run by British coaches over there, and it's good to see them over here.
Yes, I think they must work quite hard because they do quite well at some of the more challenging events. But from a whole host of different countries. I know we've had Scots there in the past training, but Archie MacArthur just at the moment, Inverclyde swimmer. Mentioned Inverclyde earlier, didn't we, about how they get on? And,
yeah, he's one of our most promising 14-year-olds in the country at the moment. Swimming very well there with 34.7 on the second 50.
Yeah, he won this event last year as a 13-year-old. It's being pushed hard though by Zane Salah alongside him. I don't think this race is over at all. 2:23.35 was his entry time. He swam that at the West District P-Snags meet, which was another opportunity for those swimmers in the West District to not just to post qualifying times, but also to get a bit of a rehearsal. Not a nice approach to the wall there.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of time around that wall to Zane. He's now at least a metre ahead, so it's going to have to come back at Zane now if he wants to get the gold medal here.
Yeah, he looks as got the bit between his teeth coming down this final length, and that turn really didn't do him any favours, but he's gaining on Zane Salah as we come into the final 15 metres. I don't think he's going to catch him. But, in third place, coming through quite quickly, is James Kilpatrick in the Carnegie cap, and he's coming along really well, but it's going to be Zane Salah take the cat touch. Good improvement on their time, so yeah, you predicted that, a really good fast race. Zane Salah getting the better of them, 2:20.34, so a big improvement for him, not only on his heat time but on his entry time. Archie MacArthur having to settle for second, 2:21 dead for him, 2:23 for our third home swimmer, James Kilpatrick. Big improvements all round in that final. Good job.
Yeah, I'm impressed. 2:20, 2:21, 2:23 for the medals. That's good.
So our 15-year-old boys. Of course, you mentioned him a bit earlier. We've got Dean Fern in this one. I was going to say that's going to be quite a challenge to beat the time from the 14-year-olds, but I don't think it will be too much of a challenge for Dean, because those were super fast from the 14-year-olds. Anyway, in lane 0 we have Innes Gow representing Geary. In lane 1, Jed Armitage from Highland Swim Team. In lane 2, Toby Bullock, Midlothian. In lane 3, Ross Anderton, East Lothian. In lane 4, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 5, Oscar Churnside from Geary. In lane 6, Lewis Gow from Tiverton. In lane 7, Dean Bagatti, he's representing South Lanarkshire. In lane 8, Daniel Hay from West Lothian. And in lane 9, Ewan Watson, Renfrew, Bath. So you mentioned Dean Fern earlier. He set a British age group record down at the British Championships last week. 200 is getting better at. What's your hopes for this?
Yeah, he's very good at the short events. He's got the British age record on the 50 butterfly and the 50 backstroke, and he's strong on the hundreds, and his 200s. You know, for people who know him, have not traditionally been his better ones, but he is he's working hard at them, trying to get better at them. He knows they're important for his development as a swimmer. He has to try and do these events, not just the short ones, and we'd always give that advice to young developing athletes to keep their range of events going. But he's got a lot of natural speed, which is why you can see him go straight out into the front here, 5 meters ahead already before we get to the end of the first length.
Yeah, he's been of interest, I think, to us in the North District for quite some time. Originally based in Stonhaven, working there with the club before his move to Aberdeen Dolphins in the last couple of years. But he was a super sprint speed specialist, I think, when he was at Stonhaven, although they had started to introduce those longer distances to him, and Aberdeen Dolphins have carried on with that. But his fly is quite extraordinary, the power that he gets. And off the turns as well. He's got some good skills.
I mean, he's 15 years old, but essentially doing men's times in some of the events anyway. And going out, he was out 104 this morning, so out 102 is a little bit better. It was a comfortable 104, to be fair to him, this morning, and he knows he would have to push it on a little bit more tonight. But it's lane 3 is perhaps slightly a surprise. He's gone into second place here. Ross Anderton from East Lothian, pushing on ahead of Oscar Churnside, the Geary swimmer, in lane 5.
Yeah, Oscar Churnside's got a lot of back-end speed. We're more used to seeing him in the open water and in the 1500, 800 freestyle, but he's actually got a fairly good 200 fly there. Hadn't seen that until really today. Oscar Churnside is not that far behind Ross Anderton.
Yeah, I think Dean actually, with maybe a little bit of inexperience, but he slowed down a bit down the third 50. I think he was saving a bit of energy so he could come home strong. He's really speeded up here. He's now 10 meters ahead. It's about how fast can he go. It looks like he's quicker than the heats.
Yep, head down at the end, love to see that. He was breathing every 2, occasionally popping in a breath every 1. Oscar Churnside coming through to take the silver medal for Geary. Good for him, 2:19.11.
Well, that's good to get under 2:20 for Oscar and Ross Anderton. Again, that's another one of those little targets as an age group swimmer that you have. If you're doing 200 fly, can you get yourself under 2:20? And Dean 2:11.96, 2 seconds quicker than his heat time.
Yeah, Dean did win this at the Scottish Summer Meet last year, but his time was 2:16.14 on entry into the event, and that time swam at the North District age groups earlier this year, so that's a 5-second drop really there, just in a month or maybe 2.
He's really just, I mean, to me, in my mind, he's not done that race a lot of times. He's learning how to do it, and there's scope for him to improve further there just by understanding his strategy and his pacing a little bit more as he gets older. But he'll be happy with that. I spoke to him before the race, and he said he would, anything around that time he'd be happy with. So
yeah, and you said perhaps a bit of inexperience coming down, going into that third turn and coming down the first half of that last length, but speeding up towards the end. Really, really good job. Right, so we've got some more medals, and it looks like they're going to be presented. Is that Margaret Somerville? So Margaret Somerville, a life member of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, and Margaret presenting the medals. Our bronze medal winner in the 13-year age group, representing Mount Kelly, it's Billy Trapp. And the 14-year age group, James Kilpatrick from Carnegie. Now our silver medal winners in the 13-year age group, representing Hamilton Aquatics, it's Mustafa McGraby. And in the 14-year age group, representing Inverclyde, Archie MacArthur. It's good to have the medal presentations back. In the 13-year age group, our gold medal winner and Scottish National Age Group champion, representing City of Glasgow, is Nikolai Sisnet. And he looks delighted. And our gold medal winner and Scottish Open Age Group champion is the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer Zane Salah, which means that our Scottish National Age Group champion is Archie MacArthur from Inverclyde, getting his gold medal as the top Scot.
Yeah, nice swim there from Archie. And indeed all those swimmers have done very well to reach the podium tonight on the 200 butterfly.
And a couple of photos there from Charlie Harris, our media man. I don't think that should delay the start of the next final, which is for the boys aged 16 years, 200 metres butterfly. 2 more 200 metre butterfly races to come.
In lane 0, representing Aquabears and Rochdale, Callum Mungan.
So in lane 0 we have Callum Mongan representing Aquabears. I think they're Rochdale, are they?
Rochdale Aquabears.
James Boddy goes in lane 1 for Geary. In lane 2 we have Adam Scott, Ren 96. In lane 3 Zach Slater, East Lothian. In lane 4 it's Evan Davidson from Perth City. In lane 5 we have James Burnett from Warrender Bath Club. In lane 6 Callum Sinclair from West Lothian. University of Aberdeen performance swimmer goes in lane 7, it's Lucas Johnson. In lane 8 from Dumfries it's Rory Webster. And Cameron Gill goes in lane 9 for first. So Evan Davidson 2:11.19 from the heats this morning. That's outside his best time.
Yeah, he's from this event in Sheffield last week. He was quicker than that. I think he went 2:09 or maybe even slightly quicker than that. I would expect James Burnett to be a strong contender here. I don't think he'll beat Evan, but he's an up-and-coming swimmer, fast improving. I know the Warrender coaches are saying he's one they're looking out for to swim well this season, so look out for him.
Was there a Burnett in Warrender Baths Club before?
Maybe.
Right, I was just wondering if he was related. I thought you would know, but Evan Davidson set off like he means it. Straight out to the front in lane 4.
Yeah, I mean, Evan, he's one of Scotland's best junior swimmers. They're 16 this year. Evan, although he's swimming for Perth City, that's his home club, he actually trains at the Strathallan School under coach Elaine Johnston. And definitely one of the best junior swimmers in Great Britain, to be fair to him, not just in Scotland.
Yeah, so Evan Davidson almost a second and a half faster than he was this morning, where he looked not comfortable, but it certainly didn't look like he was putting himself out for it and really going for it down this second length.
Yeah, he's a tough swimmer. Funnily enough, he's one of those who, we saw the Hamilton from Dubai club in the other race. Evan swam out there in some of his early age group years before he moved back to Scotland. And he's well clear here of James as they come out of the turn at the halfway.
Yeah, Zach Slater went out pretty fast and wanted to put in a challenge, perhaps for that silver medal, but James Burnett gone past him now. James around and about the same time as he was at halfway this morning. He was the fastest out to halfway, but Evan Davidson making this race his own. Like I say, he came into this event on 2:08.20, so he's a junior team member, Evan Davidson. And what does that mean for our swimmers?
Well, one of the things it means is they'll probably be invited to attend 3 training weekends over the course of the season, and also an overseas competition. We took Evan and a number of other swimmers to the Geneva International meet in January, and then they may be entitled to additional support on top of that. But here he comes in, taking the win, 2:08.34.
Yeah, 2:08.34, just about on his entry time into the meet. So good result for him. I'm sure his focus was last weekend. James Burnett in second place for Warrender Bath Club, but there's your winner. Nice picture there of him in the pool at the end of the race. James Burnett in second place, 2:12.81, and Callum Sinclair coming home third for West Lothian, 2:15.12.
But very good swim from Callum Sinclair. He was through on a 2:20 from the heats, dropped 5 seconds there, came back really strong on the last 50, and I'm sure the West Lothian gang will be very happy with his medal-winning performance, I think.
And here's the final of the 200 metres butterfly. We have Andrew Brodie in lane 0, representing Aberdeen Dolphins. In 1, it's Cider Gulen from Warren de Bath. In lane 2, it's Matthew McMillan, Incas. In lane 3, Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen Performance. Scott Fleming goes in lane 4 from South Lanarkshire. In 5, Tom Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 6, we have Stefan Kravitz, East Lothian. In lane 7, it's Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow. In lane 8, Travis Davey, Dundee City Aquatics. And in lane 9, we have Kyle Mitchell from Geary. This is going to be a really good race. I'm looking forward to this one. We spoke about it this morning. Scott Fleming was the British Summer Championships champion last year. Tom Robertson, though this is his favoured event, but Stefan Kravitz had a stormer last weekend.
Kieran Lennox good, Matthew McMillan good. Real good racing prospect here.
Yeah, Kieran Lennox really set off really fast. Seen him more in the 50s and more recently the 100s, but now turning his hand to the 200 and doing a pretty good job there for the University of Aberdeen team.
And also, he's not known that much for this event, but Robert Burgess is also one of Scotland's best swimmers in this age group, so he might fancy having a stab at this as well.
Yeah, Robert Burgess has had some really good swims in all of his strokes. I know he turns out a good medley, more known perhaps for his backstroke, but yep, in the fly as well. I think it's going to be between the 4 swimmers in the middle. Scott Fleming going out quite hard there, 28.04. Stefan Kravitz alongside him.
I mean, we talked about the national junior team. This race has got 5 of those members of the junior team in it. In terms of Matthew McMillan, Scott Fleming, Tom Robertson, Stefan Kravitz and Robert Burgess are all part of that squad.
Yeah, Brodie Gordon-Gibson was actually the 3rd fastest this morning, but electing not to swim this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the story on that one was. He swam very well last week. Maybe he's saving his energy for something else.
Stefan Kravitz first to 100 metres in 59.15. So just the 5th fastest through from this morning's heat. And a good 2.5 faster, and like I say, he did storm up. Was he in an outside lane down at the British Championships, I think, and really brought it home well.
But I mean, they're all going well here, and Scott and Tom are very well known for their last 50 as well. Last week, Tom, I think, was 2:05 and came home really strong down the last 50. They're on for that again here, 2:05, 2:06 if the whole pace, so it could be a great finish here.
Yeah, fantastic race. Scott Millen. Who's going to get this one? I don't know. It looks as though it's Stefan Kravitz. Tom Robertson coming through really hard at the end. He went out hard, I think, in his final and really bravely hung on there. Stefan Kravitz looks like he's got this one coming in there. Oh, that's very similar to the time he swam down at the British Championships, 2:05.66 for Stefan. Scott Fleming in second, 2:06.89, and just 100th behind Tom Robertson in third. Kieran Lennox, 2:10.20. So good time for him, so another improvement. So atop the podium then for Stefan Kravitz, 2:05.66. Representing East Lothian, not just the Scottish national age group champion, but some more points in the bag for the team from East Lothian.
Yeah, that was a great race, and good to see, good for the crowd to see that race, and I'm sure the guys will be pretty happy with their performances there.
Right, so some more medal presentations. Again, Margaret Somerville, life member of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, to do the honours. So first up we have the 15-year-old swimmers, and the bronze medal winner from East Lothian is East Rost Anderton. Just trying to work out who that is, and the bronze medal winner is Callum Sinclair from West Lothian in the 16-year age group. On to silver medal winners, Oscar Churnside from Geary in the 15-year age group, and the 16-year age group silver medal winner is James Burnett from Warren de Bath Club.
And the winner of the gold medal and your Scottish
So the gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion in the 15-year age group is Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. And the 16-year age group Scottish national age group champion and gold medal winner is Evan Davidson from Perth City. So hopefully our 17, 18-year-old swimmers will have been able to put some clothes on and we'll be able to join them on the podium shortly. Well, they can join them on the podium, but they haven't managed to get their clothes on yet. Our bronze medal winner in the 15-year, in the 17, 18-year age group, Tom Robertson, representing Aberdeen Dolphins, and he's obviously worked hard.
Yeah, he's not got his breath back yet.
Yeah, I said it this morning. He's one of my favourite swimmers. I was on a level 1 coaching course, so quite academic as well, quite often the way. Really nice chap. So our silver medal winner in the 17, 18-year age group. Another one of my favourite swimmers, Scott Fleming from South Lanarkshire.
He'll be happy. That was a PB for him. I mean, last week he was 2.8. He just missed the final last week, and I was quite disappointed. He's on 2.7 in the heats, a PB, and he's dropped to 2.6 tonight, another personal best. So I'm sure him and his coach Andy Figgins will be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and our gold medal winner there, Stefan Kravitz, atop the podium and in the middle, representing East Lothian. So he's our Scottish national age group champion in the 17, 18-year age group. So next up we've got some 100 metres backstroke. Non-stop action.
Yeah, girls 100 metre backstroke, that'll be an interesting race as well. Some good girls coming up across all the ages here. So
yes, here they are coming onto the pool side then, our 11 to 13 year age group 100 metres backstroke finalists. In lane 0 we have Tenreo Fallopi from Warrington Bath Club. Freya Keeling goes in lane 1 from Carnegie. In lane 2 it's Kalila Smith from Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 3, Eva Gordon, City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Madison Christophorus from Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 5, it's Casey Dixon. She represents South Lanarkshire. In lane 6, Giella Mendoza from Hamilton Aquatics. In lane 7, we have Amber Hinton from Dumfries. In lane 8, representing Heart of Midlothian, it's Lily Mundell. And in lane 9 we have Daisy Gildy from City of Glasgow. So those are the finalists for the 11 to 13 year age group. Nobody under 110, which is another one of those little benchmarks, isn't it, for the swimmers.
We might see that in the final though.
I'm hoping that we'll see that in the final. Madison Christophorus went out really quickly, but we didn't manage to get a split for her down at the turn, and there was a little glitch in the system there. We did have a few problems with the pads this morning that seemed to be alleviated this afternoon, but that's the only one that we missed down at the turn, and she came in 1:11.49 at the finish.
Always seems to be lane 4 when where the pads have problems. Yeah.
We've had some real problems here, but Madison Christophorus just now, Aberdeen Dolphins out in front. Giella Mendoza from Hamilton Aquatics, a nice orange cap, perhaps in second place. Between them, Casey Dixon, South Lanarkshire in the blue cap, but Madison Christophorus looking good coming in towards the turn. Hopefully we'll get one this time. Long pull into the turn.
Well, you can break 110 off that, but you have to really push the second 50 hard and come back strong. You've got 35.5 she's got to come back in to break 110. So you look to see the swimmers try and wind it up in the last 25. You want to, as a coach, you're looking for them to try and build their stroke rate and speed it up into the wall. And we've got 3 in the line here.
Yeah, Casey Dixon looking good as we come in towards the final 5 metres. Casey Dixon, perhaps with the momentum, I think she might manage to get there first. Ooh, Casey Dixon gets there first by my reckoning, and the pad in lane 4 hasn't triggered. I think Madison Christophorus hitting the top of the pad and it's not registered, so we'll have to see.
There you go, 1:11.60 for Madison.
So the touch there did go to Casey Dixon. That's what it looked like visually to me. Second place, Madison Christophorus, 1:11.6. And third home in lane 6, Jella Mendoza. So I think that's the 1, 2, 3. Not had a confirmation of that result yet. Like I say, visually that's what it looks like. Casey Dixon, Madison Christophorus, Jella Mendoza. So Casey Dixon will be our Scottish age group champion. Already the champion in the 200 metres backstroke for Casey, so a backstroke double for her. So our 14-year-olds just coming onto the pool side now. In lane 0 we have Eva Smith from University of Aberdeen. In lane 1 Emily McDougall, Highland Swim. In lane 2 Chloe Kirk, Milgai and Bearsden. In lane 3 Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow. In lane 4 it's Ailsa Rogers, Durham City. In lane 5 Abby McCannany, Inverclyde. In lane 6 Sadie Llewellyn, Hamilton Aquatics. In lane 7 Caitlin Reid, Warrant Bath Club. In lane 8 Isla Wetton, East Lothian. And in lane 9 it's Heidi Carr, just come up the road from Newcastle. So
obviously, Ailsa's the fastest qualifier, but it's quite close on the entry times from the heats. So hopefully a good racing prospect.
And hopefully see somebody going under that 1:10. Ailsa Rogers, her entry time. She is a Scot representing Durham. Her entry time 1:12.50, so she did improve by about a second and a half this morning.
And I think I saw Abigail Crawford in lane 3 swimming the relay this afternoon and took it out, and she went 1:10 leading off the relay.
Yeah, so really strong swim from her this afternoon in the relay. It's over in lane 7 just now. Caitlin Reid, Warren de Bath Club. She's had a good meet so far as well. Swum a whole host of different events. Caitlin Reid going out in lane 7. Easily first to the wall. 33.77. That's a much more practical sub 1:10, isn't it, from Caitlin Reid there?
Yeah, good swim first 50 from Abigail again, though. There, she really likes to attack her races. She's right in with a chance here.
Yeah, not going with the form books from the heats this morning at all. Caitlin Reid over in lane 7, and Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow, in lane 3. Just moving through now in 4, Ailsa Rogers, Durham. I wonder if she's left herself too much to do. It looks as though it's going to be Abigail Crawford from the City of Glasgow, if she can get the touch right, and she does. Abigail Crawford takes that one, 1:10.21, so almost underneath that. 1:10 also for Ailsa Rogers in second place. And third home, Caitlin Reid, our early leader. Abigail Crawford, Ailsa Rogers and Caitlin Reid.
Yeah, it just goes to show if you can upset the form book. Caitlin Reid out there from lane 7 grabbing a medal, and Abigail from lane 3 taking the gold ahead of what was maybe the favourite in Ailsa Rogers. So great race though.
Lovely skirts. Let's welcome our 15-year-old 100 metres backstroke finalists onto the pond side. So in lane 0 we've got Melissa Menny from South Lanarkshire. In lane 1 Ailsa Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 2 Eve Wood goes for Orkney. In lane 3 it's Holly Gilly representing Morpeth. Her teammate Gabby Freeman goes alongside her in lane 4. Kiana Kurtzer, Warren de Bath Club swimmer, goes in 5, and it's Coco Croxford in lane 6 for Stirling Swim. Madison Cool from Bucky in lane 7. In lane 8 it's Erin Ferris from Cumbernauld, and in lane 9 Anna Tachenko from City of Glasgow swim team. So this is our 15-year-old final.
Really nice to see Anna Tachenko make this final. She came to Glasgow from the Ukraine when the war there started, and she joined the club and has been progressing nicely since then. So I'm delighted to see her in this final. Coco and Kiana. They're part of the Scottish national junior team, and interesting to see how they get on.
Yeah, I'm loving the body paint and tattoos from the Morpeth swimmers.
Yeah, there's been some interesting body painting going on, some a bit more artistic than others.
Yeah, Gabby Freeman, the fastest entry into this meet, and secured lane 4 for the final, but no respecter of that in lane 6. Coco Croxford going out hard in Sterling swim, more perhaps known as a butterfly swimmer, but looking good on the backstroke as well.
Yeah, she's always been strong at backstroke and has come through more on butterfly in recent times, but it's really Gabby Freeman who's taken this on at 31.9 for the first 50, which is a really fast time for 50.
Yeah, she was a silver medalist at the British Summer Championships last year, and she looks as though she's easing away from the two swimmers on either side. Holly Gilly, her teammate from Morpeth, and Kiana Kurtzer from Warrender Bath Club. And it's pretty neck and neck between these two for the silver and the bronze medal. Not sure who's going to get the touch. Kiana Kurtzer's got jolly long arms. Hopefully she'll get the silver, but it's Gabby Freeman for the gold. 104.93. Holly Gilly just pipping Kiana Kurtzer to the silver medal. Yeah, there's some lovely body paint. Gabby Freeman takes that one, 104.93, 106.27. Holly Gilly, Kiana Kurtzer, 106.54 for her and for Warrender Bath Club.
Yeah, nice drop from Holly Gilly there from the heats. I think excellent swim from the Morpeth swimmers. They've got a strong group, the Morpeth club. It's just a small club just north of Newcastle. Coached by Becky McGuire, and they're gradually just getting a little bit better every year, so good job.
Yeah, and it's not too far up the road to Glasgow or Edinburgh, but it's still quite a trek to come up to Aberdeen from Morpeth.
Yeah.
And Morpeth, a lot of my family hailing from Morpeth. Anyway, we've got our medalists just topping the podium there. Medals are going to be presented by the chair of the board of Scottish Swimming, Graham Marchbank. Our bronze medal winner in the 11 to 13 year age group. We have Giella Mendoza representing Hamilton Aquatics, bronze medal winner there. And the 14-year-old bronze medal winner from Warrender Bath Club is Caitlin Reid. So our silver medal winners in the 11 to 13 year age group. Silver medal winner representing Aberdeen Dolphins is Madison Christophorus. And in the 14 year age group representing Durham City, it's Ailsa Rogers. So in the 11 to 13 year age group, our gold medal winner and Scottish National Age Group champion is Casey Dixon from South Lanarkshire. Another gold and another championship title for Casey, joining the 200 metres backstroke that she won yesterday. Our 14-year gold medal winner from City of Glasgow, and our Scottish National Age Group champion is Abigail Crawford. So some more points in the bag there for City of Glasgow swim team.
Yeah, and they'll be really happy that Abigail got that victory, because she wasn't ranked to do that, but that's a very determined character. Just I don't think it'll affect Abigail, but when they are scoring points here for their teams, just to say that they can only score each swimmer can only score once each day, which just tries to balance it out a little bit. So even if you win 3 events, only one of them will count towards the points got.
So let's welcome our 16-year-old finalist up to the blocks. In lane 0, we have Susie McNair from Sterling Swim. In lane 1, Emma McGavin, South Lanarkshire. In lane 2, Rosie Foster, Warrender Bath Club. In lane 3, we have Zoe Crawford representing First. In lane 4, it's Catherine Renfrew, Perth City. In lane 5, Heidi Wren goes for City of Glasgow. In lane 6, Megan Donovan from City of Peterborough. In lane 7, it's Maria Howe, University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 8, Mia McLeod from Swim It. And May Rogers from Warrender Bath Club goes in lane 9. So that's the lineup for the 16-year-old 100 metres backstroke final. Not quite as fast as the heats for the 15-year-old swimmers, but more of them there or thereabouts perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit more experienced swimmers. I think maybe there was one or two slightly tactical swims in the heats, and they were saving a little bit. We could be, it could go a number of different ways this final.
Yeah, Heidi Wren won this event last year.
Maybe a potential moving at the start there from, I think it was lane 6.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of occasions of that, and actually the crowd and the swimmers have generally been very respectful and quiet at the start, although we did have a recall. Well, it wasn't a recall, a swimmer who went in with a bit of noise this afternoon. Heidi ran off really quickly though in lane 5.
Yeah, Heidi likes to do this. She likes to push the race on in the first 50, and then it's always, can she hold on and keep it going. She's very good on her underwater ability, as you can see.
Yeah, Maria Howe, she is originally a Colts Otter swimmer, also going well in lane 7, representing University of Aberdeen here. But look at Susie McNair go in lane 0, not long off the podium. But I think it's the two swimmers in the centre between Catherine Renfrew and Heidi Wren for the gold. Who's going to get the touch? It's just going to be on, who reaches back better? It's Heidi Wren. 105.24, 105.38, Catherine Renfrew in second, Susie McNair in third. So we just got to wait to see what the referees thought about that movement at the start there, and unfortunately a technical infraction. Maria Howe for the University of Aberdeen.
Yeah, it was lane 7. I thought it might have been lane 6, but it was lane 7.
Yeah, I saw the movement. I hadn't seen where it had come from, but that's why we have to have an agreement between the referee and the starter as to who it is and whether or not there's a technical infraction, so the swimmers get the benefit. But Maria Howe, unfortunately, out.
Nice to have 3 swimmers on a 105 to take the medals there. That's pretty good swimming. And another win for one of the backstrokes for the Glasgow team. But Perth, Catherine Renfrew from Perth, they've been going well this so far this week.
Perth are really on good form. Anyway, this is our final 100 metres backstroke final. In lane 0 we have Natalie Marshall, West Lothian. In lane 1 Katie Rose, Warrender Bath Club. Melissa Mainwaring goes in lane 2 for West Lothian. In 3 it's Hannah Willis, City of Glasgow. Holly McGill, Heart of Mid Lothian. In lane 5 Anna Green, Warrender Bath. In 6 it's Amy Shields from City of Glasgow. Teammate Ella Stevenson goes in 7, and another teammate in lane 8, Drew McKenzie. And in lane 9 we've got Ailey Armstrong representing East Lothian. Exciting lineup for the 17-18 year final. Who's your money on?
All these girls are very accomplished backstrokers. I mean, Holly McGill has to be the favourite. She swam a 102 last week in Sheffield, and she's competed in this event for Scotland at the Commonwealth Games last year, so my money would be on her at this point in time. But good backstrokers all around here.
Yeah, beaten by Anna Green last year. I fancy certainly between these two in the centre lane, Edinburgh rivals. Holly McGill perhaps.
Yeah, Anna's been a bit up and down on her form this season, and she's just come back into some good form in the last couple of weeks. So depends. She might fancy her chances. She has been at 102.90 before Anna Green. So Holly McGill's best time is 102.4. Lane 6 is started strongly. That's Amy Shields.
And Drew McKenzie too in lane 8, who I think is going to come to the turn first.
Yeah, Drew's a very good backstroker. She's good at freestyle and butterfly too. It's whether she can maintain that.
Yeah, 31-32 at the turn for Drew McKenzie. What's her best time, do you know, or there or thereabouts?
I think it's a low 104. Now you see Holly starting to push, but Amy Shields having a great go here. And again, some of these girls are going for that Commonwealth Youth Games time. It's a 103.9.
Yeah, Amy Shields looking good as we come in towards the wall. I think it's Amy Shields going to take this one from lane 6. I don't think Holly Gill is going to be able to get there. Oh, she might. It's a joint first place.
Wow.
So there we go, 104.06. Holly McGill with a really fast finish there. Amy Shields with a strong second length, 104.06 for her, also in joint first place. And Anna Green Pip there, so she finishes in third place, 104.41. Another dead heat, we had one last night as well.
Yeah, so that's really good. I'm very delighted for Amy. I worked with her a lot when I was at City of Glasgow, and it's nice to see her breaking through to win a title here, especially tying with a swimmer of Holly McGill's level. So a little bit of a surprise there. I thought Holly would be quicker. And that's about the same time Amy went last year. I think she went 104.00 last week.
She did go 104.00 last week, came in on an edge time of 104.2, but yeah, you're right, she 104.00 to win the junior final.
And I think they had to go 103.95 to be considered for the Commonwealth Youth Games, so they might be a little disappointed to just miss it again.
Good to get a title though.
Absolutely.
Right, so some medals then. Bronze medal winner in the 15-year age group in the 100 metres backstroke is Kiana Kurtzer from Warrender Bath Club.
Bronze medal winner from Warrender Bath, Kiana Kurtzer.
And medals this time being presented by David Beattie. David Beattie, a Scottish swimming board member. Susie McNair on the podium again, a bronze medal winner this time for Stirling Swim in the 16-year age group. Silver medal winner is Holly Gilly, representing Morpeth in the 15-year age group, and the 16-year-old silver medal winner representing Perth City is Catherine Renfrew. And on to our gold medal winners in the first two age groups. Our gold medal winner is Gabby Freeman, representing Morpeth. And the 16-year-old gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion representing City of Glasgow is Heidi Wren. So our Scottish national age group champion in the 15-year age group.
And Scottish national age group champion in the 15-year-old age group, Kiana Kurtzer.
So that's Kiana Kurtzer, the bronze medal winner, but the fastest Scot home, Kiana Kurtzer there. 17, 18-year-old medalists have now joined everybody else up on the podium. The bronze medal winner is Anna Green, representing Warrender Bath Club. And we've got two gold medal winners and joint Scottish national age group champions representing Heart of Midlothian and City of Glasgow respectively. It's Holly McGill and Amy Shields. Good swim, girls. I don't think that is Amy Shields' natural colour.
She has got
I'm sure she's worked hard. Well done, girls. Actually, everyone looking pleased with their swims there. It's funny, isn't it? Some swimmers, their faces respond differently to hard work. Hannah Miley always went very red indeed, didn't she?
Yeah. I was just talking about that with someone earlier today, and with regard to one of the top swimmers in the world at the moment, Summer McIntosh. She never goes red when she swims. She just looks like she's just doing a warm-up.
Right, we've got some 50 metres breaststroke now. Our 15-year-old finalists in lane 0, Connor Christophorus from Aberdeen Dolphins in 1, Callum MacArthur, Mulgai and Bearsden. In lane 2, it's Johnny Martin, Perth City. Gregor Ross goes in lane 3 for City of Glasgow, and Ewan Weir in 4 for Dundee City Aquatics. Falling behind, it's Cameron Hastings in 5, Craig Shaw in lane 6, Corey Phillip in lane 7, Sam Cool goes in lane 8, and Lewis Gibson in lane 9. So that's the lineup for the 50 metres breaststroke. So no finals for the younger swimmers in these events as a result of the changes that British Swimming have made to the Summer Championships. What's your thought on that, Ian?
Overall, a good idea. And I know it's not to everyone's liking, but I think in the long-term development of a swimmer, it's quite okay. Because we've got the 50s at 15 years old, and that's fine.
Yeah, taking it out though in lane 4. Ewan Weir in that pink cap from Dundee City Aquatics. Alongside him, Cameron Hastings, University of Aberdeen performance swimmer. He's got some tattoos as well, but Ewan Weir looks as though he's got this one in the bag. Not a long stroke there, but coming into the finish there, nice quick time, 32.16. So not quite as fast as he was this morning.
That's not the right time for Ewan.
No. So that's not as fast as... It was definitely lane 4 that took that one. Cameron Hastings in second.
31.66.
Yeah, 31.66 for Ewan Weir. So it was actually a couple of tenths faster than he swam this morning. Definitely some dodgy touches in lane 4. Cameron Hastings coming home in second, and Johnny Martin in third place for Perth City.
Ewan under the Dundee club, but another one of those swimmers who actually goes to school and trains at Strathallan.
Right, on to our 16-year-old boys from Selby. It's Alexander McCallum in lane 0. In lane 1, Liam Koczynski from Montefieth. Lane 2, Finlay Nelson from Dumfries. In lane 3, it's Marcus Blake, City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Royas Kourangelis, City of Glasgow. In 5, it's Connor Mitchell, Warren de Bath Club swimmer. In lane 6, Logan van der Meulen, Stirling Swim. In lane 7, Luke Garrity, Inverclyde. In lane 8, Archie Smith, Aberdeen Dolphins. And in lane 9, Jaden Chan from Carnegie. Fastest into this final, Royas Kourangelis, City of Glasgow.
Yeah, he actually swam very well in the heats, but it was only just ahead of Connor Mitchell, and Connor Mitchell's a very good breaststroke as well here, so I wouldn't be surprised if either of those wins this one.
No, it's going to be mighty close. Connor won this last year, and Royas was the bronze medal winner. Quite different stances on the block there, but a really fast start in lane 4. Really accomplished start from Royas Kourangelis, City of Glasgow swimmer. Also going well in lane 2, it's Finlay Nelson, Dumfries. So perhaps 50 fly more his event, but he's looking pretty good on the breaststroke. But Royas Kourangelis battling it out with Connor Mitchell in the middle of the pool. Between these two coming in towards the finish, and I think it's Connor Mitchell perhaps just moving ahead and moving into first place. I think he's going to get this one. 30.28 for Connor Mitchell. Royas Kourangelis in second place. And Finlay Nelson taking the bronze. No surprise there, Ian?
No. I suppose maybe the slight surprise is that Finlay Nelson has dropped from a 32.3 to a 31.5 to sneak that bronze medal. The Dumfries swimmer, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy with that one. Like you said, he's more known for his butterfly, so good from him.
Yeah, he was actually the one that squeezed between Royas Kourangelis and Connor Mitchell last year.
Yeah, so Royas has moved to Glasgow since, and I know the coaches are really pleased with his progress so far.
Good. Right, this is our final. In lane 0, Max Pelosi. 1, Lewis Gray. 2, Ewan Beatty. In 3, Robson Miles. 4, Stefan Kravitz. In lane 5, Mika van Blerk. In 6, Jack Mitchell. 7, David Smith. In lane 8, Jack Wallace. And in lane 9, Benji Jones. Stefan Kravitz with a gold medal in the 200 metres butterfly. Complete change of event here, 50 metres breaststroke.
I'm quite pleased to see Stefan tackling some of the other events that he's not normally swimming, but he's a very good breaststroker when he needs to be.
Yeah, came in on an entry time of 31.7, Stefan. Junior team member. He's told us a little bit about the opportunities available to junior team members.
Well, Stefan, he's already swam for Great Britain at the European Youth Olympics last year, and he's trying to show his capability on 50 breaststroke. It looks like he's getting ahead.
Yep. He's got quite long arms, hasn't he, Stefan? So Robson Miles.
Nice swim from Robson to get second.
Yeah, I don't think Stefan Kravitz's time is registered because he definitely touched first there. 29.84 the registered time, so under the 30. Good job. So 29.84 Stefan Kravitz, I think that's the win for him. Second place Robson Miles, City of Glasgow swim team, 30.1, only just outside. And Mika van Vleck in third place, 30.14, just 4 100ths separating the silver and bronze medals.
Yeah, good swimming there. Robson and Mika, you know, they're good breaststrokers and just kind of gradually coming through the ranks. And you know, I think they can still keep. They're good. I've watched them train, both of them, and I think they can keep going forward as well. So pleased to see them get a medal.
To make these presentations, the Chief Executive Officer of Scottish Swimming, Ewan Lowe.
So I'm just hearing that the medals will be presented by Ewan Lowe, Ewan the Chief Executive Officer of Scottish Swimming. And a few more people tonight. So Ewan Lowe presenting those medals. And first up we've got the 15 and 16-year-old boys, 50 metres breaststroke. Our bronze medal winner is from Perth City in the 15-year age group, Johnny Martin. And our 16-year-old bronze medal winner, Findlay Nelson from Dumfries. Our silver medal winner in the 15-year age group is Cameron Hastings, representing the University of Aberdeen Performance. And the silver medal winner in the 16-year age group, Royas Cringelis from City of Glasgow. So our gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion, representing Dundee City Aquatics, is Ewan Weir. And our gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion in the 16-year age group is representing Warren de Bath. It's Connor Mitchell. Good race there to take the gold for Connor Mitchell. 17, 18-year-old swimmers look as though they're ready to join the 15 and 16-year-olds on the podium. Up they come. Our bronze medal winner in the 17, 18-year age group, representing Warren de Bath's club, is Mika van Vleck. And our silver medal winner in the 17, 18-year age group, representing City of Glasgow, it's Robson Miles. So the gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion in the 17, 18-year age group from East Lothian, Stefan Kravitz.
I always think it's so weird. We just commentated on the race a few seconds ago, and now they are standing on the podium. Not normal at a meet that they go that quick from race to podium, so it's a little bit strange.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we have got a lot of medal presentations to go through. I think we're a little bit out of practice because we haven't done them for the last few years. So I think it's absolutely right and good that we've got swimmers back up on the podium. But doing those medal presentations quickly means the swimmers can go for a swim down. We've got a dedicated swim down pool here at Aberdeen. It's the diving pit, and I'm sure that they'll go and enjoy that unless they've got another one to come.
No, it's good to get them up there quickly and get it done.
Our next event is the 400 metres individual medley, and that's the 15-year-old finalists coming through onto the pond side. No 400 metres finals for the younger swimmers. They were decided this afternoon in the heats. In lane 0, we've got Ellen Denny representing Geary. In lane 1, Layla Weatherspoon goes for Heart of Midlothian. In lane 2, representing Perth City, it's Kristen Mackay. In lane 3, representing City of Glasgow, Ellie Kennedy. In lane 4, Coco Croxford goes for Stirling Swim. In lane 5, it's Phoebe Arbuckle, Warren de Bath's club. In lane 6, Sydney Boyd from Midlothian. In lane 7, representing City of Glasgow, Alice Cumming. In lane 8, it's Macy Carty, she goes for Foldhouse. And in lane 9, Freya Beaton, another City of Glasgow swimmer, third one in this final. And that's the lineup for the girls' 15 years 400 metres individual medley. Heat time swum this morning, 5:13.1, the fastest entry time from Coco Croxford, and 5:37.38 on the outside lanes. We're going to see Coco Croxford challenged for this one.
I don't think so, but Phoebe Arbuckle is the other quality swimmer in the field, but not maybe quite as good all round as Coco. Phoebe is very much a distance freestyle specialist.
Yeah.
I think Coco might be looking to go a little bit quicker. If she can get under 5:10, she's probably going to be pretty happy with that. I think that would get her the win, but it's really whether the other girls can make a step forward and challenge her. We've already seen Ellie Kennedy swimming tonight in a 200 breaststroke, so can she use that to good effect? And although will it have made her a little bit tired for this event? Layla Weatherspoon from Hearts in lane 1 is going out strong at the moment. She's a good swimmer, known more for her shorter events though than the 400 IM. You can see here Coco had a great 200 flight in Sheffield last week, 2:18. So probably this first 100 is very easy for her to get the lead, but she has a good and fast tempo, as you can see, and she's willing to go out quite strong.
Flying back, perhaps her best strokes?
Yes, fly definitely her number 1 stroke. Backstroke is quite good. Bit weaker on breaststroke, so it depends how far she is ahead. We might see people trying to come back at her, but I suspect she'll be too far ahead. Both Phoebe and Coco are again some part of the Scottish national junior team, and they've been involved in our training weekends this season, and we took them to Geneva in January, I think maybe Phoebe she's maintaining that gap with Coco at the moment. Or maybe the split stroke, she'd lost a little bit there, but it's not unrecoverable if she was to do a really good breaststroke.
Yeah, Coco's been on the podium twice already during this championships, but in the silver medal position. Phoebe Arbuckle taking the 1500. She finished 12th at the British Championships last week. With a super 1500 metre swim, a big improvement for her. And as you say, freestyle is where we're going to expect to see her make her ground. So I think the breaststroke is going to be the decider here. But that's quite a lead that Coco Croxford has got as she comes in towards the end of the backstroke.
Alice Cumming in lane 7 is having a good swim at the moment. Nice to see her up there attacking this race and getting out in 3rd place. Yeah, 2:27 for Coco. That's a good split at the halfway mark.
And who are the breaststrokers in the field? Who's going to make inroads?
Well, Ellie Kennedy has medalled and is actually the Scottish champion here so far in the 2 breaststroke events that we've had. So you'd expect her to come through a little bit, but it's so far spread out at the moment. I don't know if she can make up enough distance here. She's also quite good at freestyle. But Coco, you can see, is about 8-9 meters ahead. I can't see her giving that. She's 2 seconds quicker on the split than Phoebe as well. So even though her breaststroke is her weaker stroke, she's pulling away from the field.
Yeah, Ellie Kennedy, you can see on the board there, 45.6 her split on her breaststroke. So she's definitely making up ground. Whether or not a medal is within reach, not quite so sure there, but Coco Croxford looking really good out in front there. Phoebe Arbuckle already the winner of the 1500 free here in Aberdeen. Coco Croxford first to the wall, 4:00.07. Just 100 metres of freestyle to go. So she'd need to turn in 2 of those 50 frees that you saw from Zara Kravitz, wouldn't she, to get close to that 5-minute mark. I don't think she's going to be able to do that, but she looks very strong out in front there. So Coco's entry time into the meet, 5:05.30. She was second in the national age group championships last year.
I think the 5:05 is a conversion from a short course performance to 4:59 at the short course champs in December. She's generally been swimming around the 5:14 mark so far in the long course. So if she's under that, I guess she'll be quite happy. I think she is going to be under that.
Yeah, looking quite comfortable on that freestyle there and holding her form really nicely. She, like I say, second last year. She's going to better that this year, and she'll be the national champion in her age group, and by some margin as well. That's about 12 metres or so, the advantage coming into the wall. So a good time there, 5:07, and again another problem in lane 4. I think that was 5:07 or thereabouts for first place. Second home, Phoebe Arbuckle, 5:16.27. That looks like a proper time for her. And third home, Ellie Kennedy, 5:21.82. Thanks very much to that strong breaststroke leg.
Yeah, she came through strong, Ellie, and held it on the freestyle. Alice coming as she did do a great job coming in fourth, dropped her heat time by 7 seconds, and I know Alice would be happy with that. But yeah.
Anyway, that's our corrected time there for Coco Croxford, 5:07.75. That looks a bit more like it. I suspect that the referees will have checked not only the backup button but also the manual time taken by the timekeeper. So that's the result of the first of our 400 metres individual medley finals. Coco Croxford, Phoebe Arbuckle and Ellie Kennedy. And here's our 16-year-old finalists just coming out onto the pond side. And it's Susie McNair yet again in lane 4. In lane 0 we've got Gemma Brown representing Carnegie. In lane 1 it's Louise Connell, City of Glasgow. In lane 2 Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow. In lane 3 Charlotte Thompson representing Midlothian. In lane 4 it's Susie McNair, Stirling Swim. In lane 5 Tegan Black, East Lothian. In lane 6 it's Georgia Dickey, Georgia representing Dumfries. In lane 7 Tia Aitken from University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 8 Zara Innes from Carnegie. And in lane 9 Fern Gray representing Sevenoaks. Susie McNair, the favourite for this one, Ian, under the 5.
Without doubt, she's some this brilliant. She was cruising this morning, of course. She went 4:54 last week, winning one of those finals down in Sheffield at the British Championships. So I'm inside the Commonwealth Youth Games consideration time for this event. We've already seen her race on her back tonight and pick up a medal, but this is really her best event. She's going to win the race with barring a disqualification. It's just a matter of how fast and how hard she's going to go for it.
Obviously we were aware that Susie McNair has moved quite recently from first to Stirling Swim, and that move has obviously worked very well for her. Are you pleased with how things are going?
Well, Susie, she combined that move of club with a move of school as well. So I think just her whole family circumstances were made to feel fit better for her training, because she goes to school right next door to the pool in Stirling, and she just goes straight from school into the centre and does her homework, then waits for training, and she's a very diligent and dedicated girl. Quite quiet, but really focused and knows what she wants to achieve. Goes about her business, and really nice way she swims as well. And she was around, she made a big improvement this year. She was good last year. I think she was swimming around what Coco did, 5:07 last season. But it's already gone 4:54 this year, so it shows how much improvement you can make in a year. At what is generally a slightly difficult age for girls to keep dropping time.
Yeah, so it was Georgia Dickey first of the wall after the 100 metres butterfly, but a cracking turn from Susie McNair and transition into a stroke there puts her right up in front, and she's opened a couple of body lengths clear through the backstroke here. Interesting comments about how easy it is for her, because of the change of school and the change of club and everything like that, everything being much more on her doorstep. I think we definitely have to make it as easy as possible for our swimmers to be able to train hard and succeed at school.
Yeah, it was really she was not unsatisfied where she was in terms of her swimming. I think that just the family needed a better arrangement for her development and for their own logistical programming. So, really good, nice backstroke here. She got 36 down the first 50, 37.9, a little bit slow perhaps on the second 50 of backstroke, although I'm not sure the time that came. I know it's saying 2:25 on the board and we got 2:27 on here. 2:25
makes more sense. That's a couple of seconds faster than we saw this morning. And to be fair, I think she looked quite hard going out on the first couple of hundreds, so on the fly and back legs this morning, and then just eased in towards the finish.
Really? Last week she was really in the middle of a strong race of 5 or 6 girls, and she came through the back end of the race really well. She's not going to get that push from other competitors today, so it's really her against the clock and the others fighting it out for the other medals.
So Charlotte Thompson, perhaps in second place just now.
Yeah, and again, already had a good swim this session, Charlotte. And nice to see Midlothian swimmer doing well. Again, on the medley, it's an event they tend to keep in their program and try and get the swimmers doing all the strokes. We might see Tegan Black coming back strong in the back end of this race. She's in lane 5. And then Georgia Dickey's also still in there, going well and having a good week so far.
Nice head-on shot that was of Susie McNair, really driving forward on her breaststroke, looking determinedly towards that final turn up at the start end and the move into the freestyle. Just 100 metres to go, and again we haven't got a touch there. That's her feet, I think, 3:53.24. I think that was to her feet. Looking actually quite relaxed there.
Yeah, her strokes are so nice. They're kind of, almost all of them are kind of demonstration strokes that you'd like to show younger developing swimmers. She's very smooth in the water, almost like she's not going fast when she is going fast. But she's obviously got this one in the bag, so maybe she's going to go around 5:02 here, 5:03 maybe. Depends how hard she wants to swim this last length.
Yeah, it's really balanced, her stroke. She's breathing to both sides. I know as coaches we talk about technical models, and what is it that you would like to see in your swimmers, and how do you see their strokes being developed? She's turning her head fully out of the water, obviously trying to get her breath in there, but breathing to both sides is certainly something that I impress upon my swimmers, especially for the girls.
Yeah, I think it's everyone should learn to breathe both sides. It's not absolutely necessary to perform at the highest level, because you see many of the world's top swimmers will only breathe one way, but I think everyone should learn both sides for sure, and a strong kick to go with it.
Yeah, and that was a good kick we saw there from Susie McNair, taking that one 5:03.93. Charlotte Thompson, our Midlothian swimmer, in second place, 5:13.77, and good spot there. Tegan Black representing East Lothian in third place in 5:17. All swimmers with their fastest lap of the freestyle on the last length.
As it should be on that event, but you don't always see it, but that's what should happen.
Yeah, we spoke about that this morning, negative splitting those strokes. You taught me that. So I do listen sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. I mean, it's difficult to negative actually split the time on the butterfly, but you should definitely negative split the effort on the fly. And then if you can look at the other strokes, and often the advice to a young 400 meter swimmer is to swim the first 50 with control, get your technique right, build up your effort, and then really attack on the second 50 of each stroke and see how that works out for you. It can be a simple strategy that people can learn quickly and latch onto and help them do the event, because it is, as everyone knows, a really hard event to succeed at.
Yeah, I think the temptation when you come out of the fly is to just ease back on the backstroke, but you can't afford to do that. No. Anyway, these are our swimmers for the 17-18-year-old final. Ava Kirkham, India Marshall, Stella McCarty, Lexine McCappin, Nuala Gow, Erin Taylor, Isabel Wood, Kirsty Gilmore, Alyssa Goodbrand and Rebecca Somerville go in this one. So this is the final girls race. So calling the swimmers to the blocks there, the referee. And your top tip for this one then, Ian?
Well, it's between Nuala and Erin, I think. Isabel Wood could challenge. Leslie McCappin's also in good form. Leslie McCappin did a big drop on her 1500 yesterday, so it sounds like she's in good form. But Nuala and Erin are probably the two classier swimmers, they have the best history in this event. But they've also swum through the breast already. Has that affected them? Erin has come off a difficult season, but she is good at this event. We'll obviously see Nuala and Erin strong in the breaststroke. You would expect. I would expect to see Nuala coming strong at the freestyle at the end. So it depends how if others have sometimes you have to think of a strategy that can outdo your rivals, and sometimes that works as well. So we've got Isabel Wood here leading out.
And Stella McCarty in too for City of Glasgow. Yeah,
Stella's specialist event is the fly, and she would expect her to be up there and take advantage of that.
So 107.66 Isabel Wood for the fly, and 108s after that. Not the quickest of start off for that 400 IM. Isabel Wood though, she's looking good on her backstroke as well.
Yeah, I mean the key, one of the keys for most people is to get through the butterfly leg as fast as you can, but with as little effort as you can. You need to really save your energy for the remaining 300. So it's again about having an efficient stroke that allows you to swim a decent time without applying a lot of energy to that first part of the race.
Yeah, so Nuala Gow was the fastest coming into this event. I know she wasn't particularly pleased with her 400 IM down at the British Championships, I think having come off the back of some illness. Difficult event to come back to if you've not been well, and Nuala pushing now on into second place, and of course we know she's got such a strong breaststroke, as has Erin Taylor.
And Kirsty Gilmore also right up there, pushing hard from South Lanarkshire in lane 7. So
yep,
it's not quite going to form at the moment, but then this was a race where some of these girls could look at the heats and go, I can get through this pretty easily. So you don't know how much they've held back.
Yeah, Kirsty Gilmore, it's a joint band age group, so she's 17. Stella McCarty stopped up at the business end of the race. It's still Isabel Wood. She really took it out hard, but Nuala Gow coming back hard on her in the breaststroke. Nuala Gow, I don't think she's quite going to reach Isabel Wood by the time we get to the 50-metre mark of the breaststroke, but maybe she will. She'll certainly be at the front by the time we get to the end of the breaststroke. Gliding into that touch there, 3:11.04 for Nuala Gow. 5
seconds she took out of Isabel on that length alone, and Erin 41.0 as well. She's also coming strong. She could be in second place by the end of this length.
Yeah, Nuala Gow came in 5:11 this morning, but she's 5 seconds faster at that turn than she is now, and we've got Erin Taylor just moving through. That breaststroke, so important to get that right. You can't afford to have a weak stroke on that 400 IM.
No, and with breaststroke being the stroke that takes up the most amount of time, it's a good argument to say that is the most valuable of the strokes and the one you should really address if you have any weakness on it.
Yeah, 42.69, that's a pretty fast split, but look at Erin Taylor, 40.7.
That's a really good split from Erin. That's not far away from what the likes of Katie Shanahan would split on the second 50 of a 400 IM breaststroke.
Yeah, Nuala Gow though, looking as though she's going to stay out in front. Erin Taylor, I think she is moving a little bit faster through the water, but there's quite a lot of ground to make up. Nuala Gow, with 50 metres to go, turned in 4:36. So some 7 seconds faster than she was this morning. She's going to be around about 5:03, something like that, as we come in towards the finish. Not as fast as she's ever been before. Her personal best is 4:57.67. Again, another swim done in Lisbon when the Geary team went over there. She was obviously on good form at that time. Some 5 metres ahead of Erin Taylor in second place, and I think Nuala Gao for the win.
Definitely, she's coming in just over the 5:03.47. I guess she's going to be pretty happy with the result, already having done a 200 tonight. I think Erin will probably be quite happy with that as well. Tough swim from her, really good sea performance, 5:07. And Isabel Wood also certainly dropping her time from the heats down to 5:11. Not quite sure what her personal best is, but
I think it's the best time that she's done there. She came in on 5:12.50, which could well be a conversion as well. So good swim there from Isabel Wood. Really took it out there, didn't she?
Yeah, and another good drop from Lexi McCappin, the first swimmer. I think she took off like 35 seconds on her 1500 yesterday, and so it's no surprise to see her dropping a little bit today.
And unfortunately, a technical infraction there in lane 2. So we have got some more medals to come. So what were your thoughts on that 400 metres individual medley there, Ian?
I think you saw the value of, well, yeah, obviously it's an obvious statement saying you need 4 good strokes, but you saw the difference having a good breaststroke can make there. You know, and not everyone can be a great breaststroker, but you should, you know, it's a message out there to coaches that you should really, you know, have someone as a dress breaststroke. Don't settle for them not being good at it. It can be worked on. It can be developed. I don't like to hear anyone ever say I'm not a breaststroker or that kind of thing. Or likewise for any stroke. You know, you should never. I don't think coaches and swimmers should have that approach. It should be like we develop all the strokes, because you just don't know when you get older which one is going to be your primary one, or what, you know.
And we're seeing some busy swimmers here this week. Anyway, our gold medal winner and Scottish National Age Group champion is from Stirling Swim. It's Coco Croxford in the 15-year age group. Our 16-year-old Scottish National Age Group champion and the gold medalist is also from Stirling Swim, Susie McNair. The medals there being presented by Diane Breen. Diane Breen leads on the swimming for Sport Aberdeen here in Aberdeen. I'm not sure what her official job title is. She leads the swimming programme. We missed our silver medal winner in the 15-year age group, Phoebe Arbuckle, and our bronze medal winner was Ellie Kennedy from City of Glasgow. In the 16-year age group, our silver medal winner was Charlotte Thompson from Midlothian, and our bronze medal winner, Tegan Black from East Lothian. In our 18-year age group, the gold medalist and Scottish National Age Group champion is Nuala Gao from Geary. The silver medal winner, Erin Taylor from Finns, and the bronze medal winner, Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim. So it's nice to see some of the partners from Scottish Swimming attending our finals sessions and enjoying Scottish National Age Groups and seeing how busy they are and the fruits of their labours as leads on Learn to Swim programmes. So next up we've got the 400 metres freestyle and 15-year age group. In lane 0, Lewis Gow represents Tiverton. In lane 1 we have Gregor Ross from City of Glasgow. In lane 2, Jensen Norris, Perth City. In lane 3 it's Oscar Churnside, Geary. In lane 4, Kenzie McLean from Perth City. In lane 5, Ewan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 6, Ross Anderton represents East Lothian. It's Aidan Bruce in lane 7 representing Aberdeen. In lane 8, Lewis Gibson represents South Ayrshire. And Tom Jeffords goes in lane 9 for Ren 96. So that's the lineup for the 15-year-old boys 400 metres freestyle. Fastest from this morning, that was Kenzie McLean. He's a Perth City swimmer. Is he another one of the boys from Strathallan, or is he Perth based, Ian?
I'm not 100% sure on Kenzie.
Perth City swimmer nonetheless.
So there we go. 4:26 Kenzie McLean in the heat.
So nice fast start there in lane 2. Jensen Norris, Perth City, and also Kenzie McLean from Perth City. Kenzie McLean pushing on in lane 4. Entry time 4:26.08, swam in the heats this morning. He's looking down to see what his entry time into the meet was. It was 4:26.85, swam at the Scottish Summer Meet last year. So not sure of his form in the meantime, but he was third in the national age groups as a 14-year-old, member of Youth Academy. And still holding his own, just coming in towards the 100 metre mark, Kenzie McLean. Alongside him in 3, Oscar Churnside. We've already seen Oscar in the water tonight.
Yeah, he's looking good. Definitely a good swimmer, Kenzie McLean. I don't know a lot about him. But you can see he's a nice freestyle stroke there, stretching it out smoothly, not overdoing the pace too early in the race. Oscar appears, you look at the 2 strokes, you think, is he working harder? But maybe it's just 2 different styles. You can't quite be sure of the effort level there. Gregor Ross also setting his stall out in this race. We've seen him already racing well this week. More known for his breaststroke, won the 200 last night, but he fancies his chances in freestyle as well. And he's going good.
Yeah, much faster stroke rate, Oscar Churnside there in lane 3. And you'd have to suspect he's working harder, but as you say, it's impossible to tell. There was 1:02.11, both of them. There was nothing to separate them at the 100, and only 6 100s separated them at the 150 mark, just coming in towards halfway now. Oscar Churnside was a second and a half or so behind on the entry time from the heats this morning, at maintaining his pace pretty well. Oscar Churnside, he was at the halfway mark, about half a second or so ahead of Kenzie McLean in second place, but Kenzie moving through again as we come up towards the turn end into the second half of the race. There really is nothing in it for the rest of the field.
When we talked a little bit earlier about some of the breathing patterns, and breathing to both sides or breathing to one side, and these longer freestyle events are particularly, you can breathe to one side all the way, but it's good. Sometimes you want to have that ability to breathe to different sides. You see where your opposition is. It's good to stare them down sometimes and be aware of where each swimmer is across the pool. Gregor Ross just dropping back a bit now. You can see Kenzie pushing on, Oscar trying to stay with him. And sometimes, maybe these boys don't do it, but your top swimmers will make a strategic decision where to swim in the lane. They might swim over to one side of the lane to get away from one of the other swimmers, or if you're lucky, you might try and hook on to the swimmer by getting close to them on the lane line. And Oscar's not giving this up. You can see he's pushing on.
Very determined effort there from Oscar Churnside. Ross Anderton, pretty fast splits coming in from him, and he is catching up. I'm not sure he's going to be able to catch Oscar Churnside. He's certainly not going to be able to catch Kenzie McLean with only 50 metres to go. 3:50.34 the turn for Kenzie McLean. That's 3 seconds faster than he swam this morning, and I think the race is his.
Yeah, it sounded a bit extra. Saw Oscar coming. He decided to put the stronger kick and pick up his rate. Pulled away nicely now from Oscar.
Yeah, breathing every stroke to the right-hand side as he comes in towards the wall. He's obviously worked really hard during this 400, and he's been rewarded with a 4:21.90. So a good improvement for him. In second place, Oscar Churnside taking the silver for Geary, 4:24.28. Ewan Weir coming home in third, 4:26.75. Gregor Ross was closing rapidly on that final 50, but he didn't have enough left in the tank there. So that's your winner on the camera shot there, Kenzie McLean representing Perth City.
Can we now please welcome on poolside your 16-year-old finalists in this 400 freestyle.
So not many races to go now. We've got the 16-year-old 400 metres freestyle finalists coming up next. You can see them there in the call room, just lining up ready to come onto the pond side. Not sure what the delay is there. They've probably not found the switch for the door. It's just to the left, boys. And you can see our glass house just to the left there, where the hard work's gone on, and the meat management of the meat. I think they are going to make it onto the pool side. It would be really nice to see them.
Come on then.
Shout them out. I'm going to speak to our arena announcers. Try and encourage the swimmers out onto the pond side. Not sure what the delay is. So that's up next, the 16-year-old 400 metres freestyle final. Oh, here they are.
Adam Scott. In one, representing first, Rory Calver. In lane two, representing City Glasgow's Kai Connolly. In lane three, representing Warrington Baths is James Burnett.
Right, I'm a bit confused by what I'm seeing on the deck here, but in theory, in lane 0, we've got Adam Scott. In lane 1, Rory Calvert. In 2, Kai Connolly. In 3, James Burnett. In 4, Evan Davidson. In lane 5, Zach Slater goes for East Lothian. In lane 6, James Boddy for Geary. In 7, Thomas Trainer, South Lanarkshire. And in lane 8, Tom Armitage for Highland. In lane 9, Adam Thompson, South Ayrshire.
Yeah, I think you've got all those.
Yeah, it does look right. I saw a Geary swimmer coming out first. I wondered if there had been a change, but looks like that's the swimmers we've got lining up for this, our second final of 400 metres freestyle. Swam this morning. Fastest was Evan Davidson, representing Perth City. 4:15.75 he swam. Was well within his capabilities. 4:01 is his entry time into the meet, junior team swimmer. Zach Slater in second place after the heats, 4:18.75. What's Evan Davidson going to do? Coming to the wall, it's nothing between the first swimmers in lane 4 and 5, Evan Davidson and Zach Slater turning together. James Boddy in third. 28.49 the time for Evan Davidson at the split. And that he made that look very easy, just pulled out a body length.
Well, I always think it's good on the 400 to really control your first 50. Then you've got to start moving on the second 50. And a lot of people slow down too much on the second 50. They go out a bit too hard and then slow down too much. And you really got to try and reverse that, and that's exactly what Evan's done there. Out in a 28, then split 30 point on the next one. And some of those kids there went out in 28 and then went 32. And that's what, that's the difference in why he's now 3 meters ahead.
So James Burnett in second place from Warrington Baths. Seen these swimmers on the podium already this evening, but Evan Davidson now a full couple of body lengths clear, turning first in 1:31.17. I don't think he's going to get close to his entry time off that, but who's to know yet. James Burnett in second, Kai Connolly in third place, City of Glasgow swimmer in lane 2.
Yeah, you were in some very impressive 4:02 for this event last week. and I don't think we're going to see that today. He might just fancy cruising out here to the win. We're anticipating he'll be swimming for Scotland or GB at something in the summer. There's not no official notification of that yet, but we think his performances last week would put him in strong contention for that.
Yeah, 2:03.45 for Evan Davidson at the halfway mark. James Burnett closest to him. James Boddy still going well in lane 6 and coming through quite nicely in lane 2. Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow.
Well, this is really in the 400 free. You've really got to go now. After that 200, you've got to attack that 5th length and then maintain it between 250 and 350. You know, you've usually got enough to put in the last 50, but this 100 here, from 250 to 350, is critical.
And so is that a strategy that you would try and encourage and develop with the coaches in Scotland for their swimmers?
Yeah. It's almost, I mean, there are different strategies you can take to this event, but one is, you know, negative split it, do the second half, certainly with negative effort, but also when you get to halfway, then try and get faster at each of the subsequent lengths. Hard to do, easy to say, hard to do, but it's certainly a useful strategy to try and employ.
Yeah, I mean, we know that physics teaches us that a steady pace through a race expends the least energy. So working harder on that second half, generally a good tactic. Evan Davidson, he looks pretty comfortable out in front. I mean, of course, he's still got 3 days to go off a busy 6-day programme last week.
And he'll fancy probably, he's had a great stab at some of those events last week. He might want to try and get on some of his other events this week and really hit them out well. This event maybe was a little bit of an insurance policy for him. If last week hadn't gone so well, he could maybe have had to attack this one, but this is well within him.
Yeah, look at James Boddy go though, the Geary swimmer out in lane 6. Really attacked down that final 50, taking the silver medal in 4:14.54. That's a very respectable time for James Boddy there. Just trying to see what his entry time into the meet was, 4:25.90. Big improvement there for him. James Boddy, he was 4th in the Scottish Summer Meet. And 8th in the national age groups last year, so
well, did a great last 50 there.
He certainly did. Promoted himself from 8th place to 2nd in his 2nd year here at the national age groups in the 16-year final. So those will be our medalists later on. Our final race of the evening is for the boys 17-18 years 400 metres freestyle final. In lane 0, we have got William Shepherd from Perth City. Ben McLaughlin goes in lane 1 for Geary. In lane 2, Nathan Campbell from Stirling Swim. In lane 3, Scott Fleming from South Lanarkshire again. Finn Drysdale goes in lane 4 for Perth City. Brodie Gordon-Gibson, who we saw absent from the 200 metres butterfly. This is what he was saving himself for. Warren DeBarty goes in lane 5. Luke Hornsey in 6 from East Lothian. In lane 7, Saida Gullen from Warren DeBarth Club. In lane 8, Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire. And in lane 9, it's Finlay Davis representing Midlothian. So that's an interesting strategy there. Brodie Gordon-Gibson looking for a good time in this 400 metres freestyle.
Well, Brodie knows he did a really good 200 fly last week as well and really moved that event on, so he must have thought and spoke to his coaches and thought, right, 200 fly and 400 free the same session may not go the way he wants, but having done a good 200 fly last week, and maybe looking at this thinking, right, what can I do on a 400 if I just concentrate on that?
Yeah, we spoke at the beginning, didn't we? That's some tough doubles here on day 2. I mean, there is always going to be some tough doubles, but that 200 fly and 400 free, not an uncommon choice for our swimmers, and both in the same session twice in a day. That's saying that we're wanting to prepare them for that, and there's a lot of them actually attempting it. And the girls, the 200 breaststroke and 400 metres individual medley, but it's always going to be lined up against something tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be fair, the favourite here might be Luke Hornsey. He again was another one swimming well on this event last week. The strategy and pacing here will be really interesting, because you can see they're right next to each other at the moment, and there's a temptation to swim off each other, to stick with each other. But then, do you think that might be not quite your best strategy? You might need to try and get away.
Yeah, no sign yet from Scott Fleming in lane 3. Might expect him to be a bit closer to them, perhaps towards the finish of the race he will be. But, between these three in lanes 4, 5 and 6 just now, Finn Drysdale, Brodie Gordon-Gibson and Luke Hornsey, pretty much of a muchness. East Lothian have got a really good group of boys, older boys in the youth age group, and then they've got some really good junior girls as well. It's a good team shaping up.
Yeah, they've been doing very well over the last few years, and coming to fruition now with some top-class junior swimmers, Luke Hornsey being one of them. He's in the national junior team as well. People, pursuing the distance events. He recently attended one of the British swimming distance training camps and got put through his paces there, so it's good to see him coming on nicely. We certainly need people and swimmers around to do those events and help Scotland move forward in them, because we have been weak in them for a number of years.
Yeah, it's not a situation unique to Scotland though, is it? There's generally been a decline in the distance events, although there's been some outstanding individuals, perhaps not so much in bulk, and as you say, definitely not in Scotland and GB. But real race shaping up here as we come into the second half of the race.
Yeah, you can see I'm a little bit surprised on Brodie here. He's really attacked. He's a big, strong guy who swims 100 butterfly really well and 50 butterfly well, and to see him attempting the 400 and swimming it like this, almost like a distance swimmer, is interesting. But it's Finn Drysdale who's starting to try and push on the field here.
Yeah, Finn with a much higher cadence than Luke Hornsey. I don't know how tall they are. I mean, Luke Hornsey looks really long in the water. I assume he's quite a tall boy.
He's okay. He does have a long stroke. He probably should learn to pick his stroke rate up a bit more than he does. That's another. I was speaking to his coach last week, and that's one thing his coach has been impressing on him. He's got to get the stroke rate higher.
As you were saying that, he looks as though he has actually picked his stroke rate up just a little bit.
He's noticed that Finn's gone and he's going to have to make a move here.
Yeah, Finn's been working quite hard. The momentum is with him, but I think Luke Hornsey has been a little bit within himself. Turning first, Finn Drysdale, but he's only 15 100ths the advantage at that turn. And you were talking about the advantage of being able to breathe both ways. Luke Hornsey breathing to his right. Not sure if he knows where he is. He certainly put a hard kick on there coming into the final 15 metres. I don't think he can see across the pool, but I think he's got the win anyway. Coming in towards the finish, Luke Hornsey really accelerating in towards the end, just pipping Finn Drysdale at the post, 4:01.83. Good swim, Luke Hornsey there to take that win. 29 seconds his final lap. Finn Drysdale, 4:02.68, has to settle for the silver. Brodie Gordon-Gibson, 4:07.58 there, 31.71 his final lap. Not perhaps what you were expecting there, Ian.
No, that improves on the time Luke went last week in Sheffield, where he was 4:03.17, and he really, as you can see, he got his tactics spot on. And you can't say Finn didn't either. He got good tactics for it as well. It just came down to a good race at the end. Yeah,
4:02.07 Finn Drysdale swam last week to come fourth in the junior final there, and a bit harsh on Brodie Gordon-Gibson there. 4:10.24 his entry time. He only did that at the Edinburgh International. That was his best time, so good improvement for him.
Final set of presentations. Please welcome the President of the Scottish Swimming Association to make them for us.
So our final set of medals will be presented by Brian Hendry. Brian, the president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association. In the 15-year age group, our bronze medal winner is Ewan Weir from Dundee City Aquatics. And our 16-year-old bronze medal winner is James Burnett from Warrender Bath Club. Silver medal winner in the 15-year age group is Oscar Churnside from Geary. And his teammate alongside him, he's the 16-year-old silver medal winner, it's James Boddy. Now, our gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion for 15-year-olds in the 400 metres freestyle is Kenzie McLean from Perth City. And in the 16-year age group, representing Perth City, our Scottish national age group champion is Evan Davidson. So the racing done for the evening.
Yeah, that's all our finals done. 7:30.
We've just got another one of presentations, yeah. But the swimming is done, and here they are, the 17, 18-year-old boys up onto the podium. Bronze medal winner there is Brodie Gordon-Gibson, representing Warrender Bath Club. And the silver medal winner, representing Perth City, is Finn Drysdale. And the gold medal winner and Scottish national age group champion, representing East Lothian, it's Luke Hornsey. So our final set of medal presentations. Thank you very much to Brian Hendry, the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association president. Ian, that was a great set of finals.
Yeah.
Over and done with now. Your highlight for the evening? Oh, you knew I was going to ask you.
Let me think. I mean, even that last race there, the last 50 from those two boys was that was good. The time they did, it's quick. Luke quicker than last week. Finn right on what he did last week. I think that's pretty impressive. I thought we saw some good racing. There's some good 200 breaststrokes. The girls on 100 back. That, 3 on the 105s, and then the 104s from Holly, and the dead heat with Amy Shields was good. Yep. That was nice to see.
So lots of lovely stuff then. So we're going to wrap it up there. So thank you very much to everybody who is here at Aberdeen Sports Village, and to those of you that watched online as well. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back same time in the morning, nice and early. See you then for some more swimming. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.